Hey, what's going on, guys? Hope you guys are having a great week. These are the best moments from the streams throughout the week. So from all the highlights from Monday to Friday will be clipped and put into this video. If you guys want to know more and you guys want to watch more, you guys can then tune to the streams every morning at 6:30 a.m. Eastern. All right, I'll catch you guys in the video. Peace. Can you go over this trade setup for people who are still joining your stream, please? Okay, I'll go over it again. Weekly. Right now it's bullish. Well, technically it's bearish, but it's a weekly time frame. Pricing clear top wick anywhere. 151, 555, 152, 031. The daily broke the daily candle highs earlier today. So once you broke the daily candle highs, you now have clean traffic driving price up to 151, 200. So with that being said, I am bullish for a day. That is my bias, bullish. So the forward candle, forward time from here as well. If you look left, close bullish above this resistance. Therefore, you would now expect this next forward candle, which is this current forward candle, to continue up towards the next level of resistance, minor resistance, which is up here at 151. So with that being said, you would expect price to continue up towards that area. So drop down to the 1 hour, go back on the 1 hour time from here. You're gonna see the 1 hour candle closing. By the way, chat, we're not in yet. We're not activated yet, but with the 1 hour looking left there, this is the previous range we're in, right? So now that price is closing bullish above this resistance here, we're now breaking back into this range here. Therefore, now you would expect this price to continue up to fill the range. As looking left, there's clean traffic here as well, driving price up towards the resistance at 151. So that is why I'm looking for a position today on these buys here on GJ. Why is that your break-even point? Just because it's a matter of resistance there. We'll also be around 8 pips in profit as well at that given point. So that's where I'll look to move my stops to break even. Got in a position here, chat, with the price breaking those highs.
That's what I was waiting on. Got in a position here, chat.
This guy had the reverse FOMO.
Stop loss is the previous like 1 hour lows, and TP is up here.
I hear Don say that in
and yeah. At 156.71, that's when I move my stops to break even. We'll be around like 7-8 pips in profit by then. And then at around 10 pips up here, I'll look to close half my positions, and then the rest will be running until 159.49 here for the day. Nice. Gonna move my stops to break even here, chat. Making this a risk-free trade here. I mean, 5 minutes has no bottom wick, but I mean, hey, there we go. Gonna close half of my positions here, chat, at 10 pips here. I'm gonna let the rest run until TP, so.
Bro, you always yell at me for closing full, now it's my turn to yell at you.
Yeah, this is the one. You know what the last time I didn't close full was? That time, or the last time I closed
she's a runner, she's a track star.
Would you say it's possible to make a consistent 10% per month? I'm new. You know, I want to say yes, because it's very possible. But then again, it depends on your skill level. At the end of the day, that's all it depends on. So, anything is possible. Anything is possible. 100%, 10%, but it just depends on where your skill level is at, right? But yeah, I mean, 10% it's not. What I will say though is that don't have a goal though. Don't have like a goal. Like don't have like a 10% goal per month. Don't have a 5% goal per. Don't have a 20% goal, a 100% goal. Don't have a goal per month, just because you would then like force like yourself to make that percent per month when not all days are trading days. And you can't start to force trade positions that you would normally want to take on a regular day basis. So, yeah, don't have a goal, but definitely 10% per month is definitely possible if you put your mind to it and you're working. Don't have a goal. Yes, write that down. Don't have a goal. You don't need a goal in FX, man. You don't need a goal. Because here's what you're gonna do. It's like, oh, yo, I wanna make 10% per week, or let's put a round number, 5% per week. All right, you then try to make 1% every day, and like if you can't make your 1% per day, what you're gonna do is you're gonna start to overtrade. You're gonna start to overtrade so you can make back your losses for that day or your gains, because you're trying to reach that goal of yours that you have in your mind. That goal doesn't mean shit, man. That goal is just a magical number you just want in your head, right? It doesn't mean anything. It's not gonna get you anywhere. You achieving that goal for this week, cool, you achieved it. But like moving on to the next week, it's like, can you still achieve that goal again, right? Because like some weeks I achieve like 50% weeks, 50% days, or not days. Actually, I want 50% a day, like not in like June or something, that runner day. But like, you know, the next day I came to the charts, I wasn't expecting much. I caught like 10 pips the next day. after catching 100 pips the day before or 400 pips the day before, right? So It's just depends on the market conditions more so than it depends on like having a goal for a day. Yeah, you can literally put all your hours in for like you can literally trade like 24/7. You can still come with the month break even or within a loss. Another guy could take 4 trades for the month and you can be in a winning position. It's like it doesn't matter how much time you put in. It just depends on your skill level, I guess, right? Your skill level. You know, small account or big account, like you should aim for or not aim. You should make something that's sustainable every day. Like you don't want to have 100% a day today, negative 100% day the next day, and then day after 50% day, and then day after like 25% day, and then next day after 100% day, and after the next day lose it all. It's like I've seen it happen to so many traders, and it's an ongoing thing that's still happening to some traders that I've seen or that I follow, right? If you ever felt a lack of confidence that you stopped trading that day, you know, honestly, I haven't got that question before, so that's a good question. But I feel like confidence before, yeah, like definitely like before, but I feel like confidence just has to do with your sample size and the time you spend on the charts. The more time you spend on charts, the more comfortable you get, the more you see things occur, the more you see pullbacks happen, the more you see you know, like things that would normally freak you out when you first start not really freak you out anymore. So it all comes back to sample size. You know, once you get to a point where you kind of know what you're looking for and you have like your sample size, you have your setups that you usually enter, your playbook, right? That's all you care for. And like it has nothing to do with confidence at that point anymore. It's more so just like it's a high probability trade, and I understand that 20% of the time it may not play out, but it's a high probability trade. I'm willing to take it every time it pops up again. So that's why I always say like it's a loss, but it was a good loss because it's a loss that we couldn't really avoid due to the fact that it's a play that we've taken before in the past, right? So it has nothing to do with confidence anymore nowadays. No, if anything, it's bad to be overconfident. It's, you know, so you kind of want to just stay neutral. You don't want to be too underconfident or too overconfident. Yeah, but confidence, like I feel like if you're overconfident, what you're gonna do is you're gonna take like positions like using emotions. Oh, I think price will do this. I think price will go up here, make a resistance, come down, create a support, and then come up, make support again, come up, and then it go left, right, up, right, and then all of a sudden pull back to the 61.8 zone, and then fly up towards my TP. Like, okay, buddy. You know, it's like you start to go off emotions after, and it's not good. It's not a good look. Emotions just makes you run in circles. So that does.
I got a question for you, Don.
What's up?
Pretty sure I got the answer, but maybe I'll ask for other people just because some people may be put in a situation. It's the end of the month. You have officially had a quote unquote rough month where you've been up, you've been down, you're now break even, right? This is where I'm at right now. I just took that trade. I'm break even for the month. There's 2 days left, whatever, in the month. There's like a couple trading days left. If you were in this situation where you had like a rough month, but you finished now, you're break even. You had 2 days left and the markets weren't like super good. You saw a setup. Would you take it just because you want to just have the consistency of taking trades regularly? Or would you be like, you know what, it's been like a rough month. I've made it out break even. I'm going to call it a day.
Every day's a new day.
What would you do in that type? Every day's a new day. It doesn't matter if it's the end of the month, the beginning of the month. If you're break even, if you're down, you're still taking your trade.
There it is. Yeah, because like once you know this, like once you hesitate, what's gonna happen is you're gonna keep hesitating, right? It's like, I should have entered that, or you know, I'm gonna stay out here. And you see those days pass by where like, yo, you see opportunities, then you have FOMO orders moves, and it just adds on. It makes it worse if anything. So stick to the same trades you've been taking. Or look for the same steps that you've been looking for. Right. That's what I would do.
Don, so I was going over my losses that I've taken. I journaled them, and I noticed that a lot of the times, you know how when a candle will open up, so say we're gonna take a buy, let's say above the 30, like right here on gold, how you have it. Say like the 30 closes above where you want it to.
Yeah.
And so the previous candle has like a nice top wick. So like the candle that you're going to take the trade on opens up, and it opens up with no bottom wick. You know how we always wait for that bottom wick?
Yeah.
So it opens up with no bottom wick, and then it comes down to make the wick. And typically what I would do, I'd put buy stops above the candle wick of the current candle. Does that make sense?
The high? right?
Yeah, the high. There you go.
Yeah.
That's what I was looking for. I noticed that a lot. I think this is mostly on GJ though. A lot of the times when I put my buy stop above that wick, if it turns out I was going over my losses, most of the times if I would have entered off the actual flip, I would be break even. Do you think that's just like that's just the reason why we're entering the trade is because it's breaking that high again? Or do you think where do you because you know how sometimes you'll be like, oh, if it makes a steep wick, I'll enter on the flip, but like, you know, if it's not that steep, I'll enter on the break of the high.
Yeah.
Like where do you like draw how do you see it as far as like, all right, since this candle came up like 3 or 4 pips, I'll go off the flip? Or like, how do you kind of
like, are you asking like
enter on the flip or on the break of the highs? Because I feel like a majority of my losses actually come from putting it on the break of the high, and I would have gone break even, but because of that pip difference, it didn't hit my break even target, and then it ended up being a loss. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah.
So like, where do you usually set your buy stop? Like, okay, like since it came up this high or whatever, how do you choose whether flip even though it already made a top wick or on the break of the highs?
I'll draw a scenario. I mean, if it's like, let's say you get like a candle here and price was above the range, right? In this case, if you get a small bottom wick like this is where I look to enter on a break of the highs, because like the previous wick wasn't that big of a wick, so like we're not missing on that much of a range. However, if we were to get a wick like this on a previous candle, then you can't enter on a break of the highs anymore, because you'll be missing on the whole initial range. So you get put in a situation where you're limited to only entering once you get a decent bottom wick being created on a new candle.
Right. But yeah, okay, that makes sense. But I'm referring to the current candle. You know how sometimes like this, so the current candle you have, sometimes it won't have a bottom wick.
Yeah.
It'll just come up a little bit.
Oh, like, on a break of the highs?
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. So you know how sometimes it'll come up a bit, but then it'll come down to make the wick? Like, how do you choose? I'm going to enter on the flip, which is the open of the candle, or I'm going to enter on the break of the current high of that candle?
I think same thing. Like, if the current candle high is like a small wick like this, then you can look to enter on a break of the highs. However, it's a big wick before it comes down to create the bottom wick and it then reflips. You're in a situation where it's kind of chalked, for me at least.
Okay, so if it comes up too high, then you just won't enter
the break of the highs
position at all.
Yeah.
Or you would enter on the flip.
I would then enter on the flip only if you get like a nice bottom wick, like a decent bottom wick. Yeah.
So it has to be like a really nice bottom wick for you to enter on the flip.
On the flip again, yeah, because you can't enter on the break of the highs. Obviously, it'll be like
because like
stops are massive.
Like most.